In this video, I'm going to show you how my client Amy went from zero to showing homes with a serious buyer in just 47 days. She spent $957 on ads over this period and got an $8,500 back in commission. So that's a pretty good return on investment if you ask me. But in this video, I'm literally just going to show you her entire strategy, just so basically you can see what she did and replicate these results in your market. And as always, if you are at all interested in basically just hearing about how this could potentially work for your business, feel free to book a call with me using the first link in the description. But let's get into the video. So first, of course, I have the screenshots from the ads manager, but also the manual tracking. So like I say in all my videos, you need to be tracking all your data manually. You can see right here, it was from January 27th to March 15th. Spent about $1,000. Says only 10 conversions right here. But as you can see right here, we have way more than 10 conversions. What is that? It's 4, 5, 6, 7 appointments during this time. I don't even know how many leads that is, but it's a really good number. 40,000 impressions, 484 clicks. So pretty good. And as you can see, these are the week by week stats. You can see all the ad spend. One week it spent pretty high, but yeah, you can see we spent $957 during this time, and we're getting a good amount of leads. You can see 10 leads this past week, and the cost per lead is increasingly going down. So that's one thing I want to mention. You can see up here, it's a bit more in the first 4 weeks, but then it suddenly just drops down to like 14. And that's what I tell all the realtors I speak with about YouTube ads, that, hey, the first weeks are going to be slower. It's not going to be the best in most cases, but if you can just stick it out and just stick with it, you'll see the results literally increase over time, which is not typical in other platforms like Facebook or Instagram ads, for example. So if you stick with it, you're willing to say, okay, I'm going to commit to do this for 90 days. That's when you're going to see results, because you're giving the algorithm time to actually learn and optimize based on who you're actually targeting. And you can also see first week, 0 appointments, and then they just started going up over time, and we just constantly started accumulating these appointments. And I'm going to show you exactly how we did that. And something as well, on day 12, this is when Amy got that appointment that turned into the client. So it was literally a second week that she got that. I believe it was day 12, which is pretty crazy. But that's another thing. You can get results extremely quick with YouTube ads. It's just a matter of making sure you have the right process and the right systems in place to be able to set yourself up for success, to even have the chance to reach those people. So this is the next one, and I just forgot. I didn't blur out the number at first, so I just did that. But this is the actual text. So it was with Riley. So this was the second week. So this second week of running ads together, again, it was day 12, I believe. And basically, this lead came in. I called her, pre-qualified her, and then just booked her right on Amy's calendar. So you can see budget up to $340,000. She said what she's looking for. Currently renting, so she'd be a first-time home buyer. And she also wanted to set up her home search. Also booked a call at 4 p.m. this afternoon. So you can see it's pretty simple, but you want to make sure you're getting those qualifications. Either you, your ISA, your virtual assistant, just somebody needs to be calling these leads, because this wasn't just self-booking. This lead or this client would never have been in touch with Amy if we didn't actually have a back-end follow-up system in place. So that's something that you need. It's not the most exciting, it's not the prettiest, but you definitely need it. Otherwise, you just miss out on opportunities, and Amy would have never got this client. And then the next part, basically, this was last Thursday. She said, yeah, we're about to go look at another house. Riley got pre-approved, all that stuff. Amazing. And because their budget is $340K, if they do find a home at that price, it's about $8,500 in commission for Amy after spending $957. So that's a crazy ROI. That's like a 9 times ROI. So if you're able to spend $1,000 and get $8,500 back, I'm sure you would do that 10 out of 10 times. And that's the way that it works with ads. It's not a process where you're going to put in $100 and then get a $3 million listing in 20 days. Because when you think about it mathematically, I think I spoke about this in my last video or two videos ago, but you need to think about it based on, okay, the median home price in this area, let's say, is $400,000, and a good ad would be at least a 4 times return on investment, meaning you're putting in $1 and you're getting $4 back. So for example, if the median home price in your market, let's say, is $350,000, and from that you'd make about $8,500 in commission if you're taking 2.5%, you should be willing to spend I don't know what this is divided by 4. You should be willing to spend at least $2,000 on these ads before seeing any results. Because even if you spend 2,000 bucks, I know that's scary for a lot of realtors, and it is definitely tough because you're putting that money up front without seeing any immediate return. But if you think about it this way, you're spending 2,000, that's still a 4 or 5 times ROI. Not 5 times. That's still a 4.5 times ROI if you're spending $2,000, which is more than a lot of realtors think they need to spend. But when you position it like that, I'm spending 2,000, I'm making 8,500 back. That's a good deal, and you're going to do that every day of the week. And who knows? Sometimes you might only spend $1,000 and you'll get that return. But it's the mindset that you need to be willing to hold out, not see results in the short term, to be able to let them flourish in the long run. So that's something that a lot of the realtors that I speak with, they have hesitations about. But once they say, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to commit to it for 30 days, or I'm going to commit to it for 90 days, I'm going to commit to it for 6 months. That's when you really reap the rewards. When you say, okay, I'm going to stick with this, and I'm not going to change the ads, change my ad budget just because they're not working 2 weeks, right? You can see how fast it takes off, and the results increase over time. So if we're not sticking with this, we would have never even seen these. But granted, the appointment did come in the second week, which is also awesome. And that's definitely feasible, again, with the right system. So that's a quick recap on the process. Now I'm going to go into actually Amy. So Amy, she's great. She's super, super nice. Clients absolutely love her. You can see she owns a team, 78 5-star reviews on Zillow. She's a top producing agent. She's over 11 years of experience. And then, yeah, she owns a team. Just to give you a bit of background on her. So I'm just going to go over kind of why she chose YouTube ads. And this is just kind of recapping our initial call. So Amy's one of those realtors who tried literally everything: Zillow, mailers, Facebook ads, etc. You name it, literally everything. I speak to so many realtors who've tried so many things, and they kind of feel burnt out just because there is so much out there. It all sounds so good once you hop on the calls or you're watching videos like this, but they all kind of sound the same, which is unfortunate because you don't really know what to believe. But part of her success was her just ability to just invest in herself and her business and not try to do everything alone. I'm just saying that because she would always be doing something. She has multiple lead sources. She was doing mailers, Facebook ads, Google ads. She was doing it all, but she's constantly investing in herself. Even though she hasn't had great results with some stuff in the past, she knows that it's not everything. For example, like if you have a bad relationship with your ex, and you break up, you have a heartbreak, you're not going to stop looking. You're not going to stop looking for love, right? You're not just going to say, okay, I'm hanging the boots up, I'm retiring from the dating scene, right? Like you get back in the game eventually. Even though you had a bad experience in the past, that doesn't mean that every person is going to be bad like that. So if I think about this the same way, that not everything is bad. Of course, there are some bad apples, some scammers out there, unfortunately, but it's all about finding the right system for you. And that's a big part, is finding something that aligns with you and your goals. So what stood out about the YouTube ads to Amy was, number one, just the quality and intent of the leads. Because YouTube ads, you're able to target people actually in the market to buy or sell, not just scrolling around on their phone. And in the ads, the messaging is only calling out those people who are in the market, right? So we're just basically filtering out every single person who's not a good fit, because we only want to bring in a handful of serious people. I'd rather have 2 extremely serious leads a month than 100 leads each month where you're spending hours each day following up with them just to find 1 or 2, right? Why would you not just take the 2 leads and leave the other 98 out? So that's kind of my thought process, and that's why I like these YouTube ads. Now, the next part is just getting them familiar with you before you ever speak with them. So that's a big part about the YouTube ads, is that, I mean, that's the power of video right there. The best way to build trust with people is, number one, having a conversation with them face to face over the phone. Second, of course, is video. And in this day and age when everyone's online, everyone's on YouTube, it's the second biggest search platform in the world. That's the best way to just share your message one to many, because you're not having to have individual conversations with these people. You can record one video one time and have every single person in your area see it. So it builds so much trust. And you also use video on the back end, which that's a big part of my funnel. I'm not going to go over that in this video, but you can check out some of my other videos if you like. But that's the big part. You need a way to build trust with these people before you actually reach out. So there is so many advertising platforms out there like Facebook, Google, even like Zillow and Realtor.com, like even though the leads may have intent, not really on Facebook and Instagram, but on Zillow and Realtor.com, the leads have intent. Like I would say they're solid leads, but the problem still is they just don't know who you are. So it's just because they're just on Zillow. They haven't shown any interest in you. They don't know that you're going to be reaching out specifically, but on YouTube they see you. You're the one in the ad. You're the one on the back end doing all of this stuff, building all this trust. And a lot of times they do choose to just book right on your calendar. So they know that they're going to be speaking with you because number one, they literally choose, or two, you say, hey, I'm going to give you a call, and you're actually on the video in the entire funnel. So they know, okay, this person's most likely going to give me a call. And then on the back end, you say, hey, and also look out for a call coming in from a local number. It's probably me. So you're warming people up, getting them familiar with you before you reach out, and it just makes the conversion process so easy. And not to mention as well, you do get kind of that local celebrity status over time where people are recognizing you, saying, hey, I saw you on my TV on YouTube the other day. And it's just those little things that add up, but it's just about getting in front of these people over and over. Now, the next part was just the opportunity. So most realtors aren't even doing YouTube ads correctly, or they're not even running YouTube ads in general. I would say 95% of my clients that I'm working with now have never tried YouTube ads. A lot of them didn't even know it was a thing before. But when you really have a system in place, so it just makes it such a good opportunity because if nobody's doing it, it's obviously a bigger barrier to entry because there's not much to replicate out there. There's not many systems that you can just plug in. It's not like Facebook ads. You can just put out one ad. It's a lot harder to get in, but those people who do it correctly are going to get 95% of the results just because they're doing the targeting correctly. They have the right creative, they're calling out the right audience, and they have the right funnel and back-end system to actually turn these views into actual conversions, because that's what's important, is of course making money. So it's really a blue ocean strategy at this point. Nobody else is doing it. And even in the more competitive markets, those a lot of times those ads work the best in those really big markets, which is kind of cool. But having said that, they literally work in every single market, from Vegas to tiny markets like Duluth, Minnesota, for example. It really doesn't matter. It's just having the right system and making sure you're testing and seeing which message resonates the most in your market specifically. So here's the strategy that we used, a really high level overview. So it starts with the targeting, YouTube ad, landing page, and then appointment booking. So the first targeting, we were targeting home buyers in this example, and our audience was a custom segment. So we were targeting homes for sale in the city, state, and then state real estate for sale. And those are the keywords that you want to use. You want to make sure you're getting targeted and make sure you're saying for sale. You don't want renters to come in. One thing you can also do though is you can exclude certain keywords. So you can exclude keywords like rent. You can exclude hotel, because if they might be looking in the area but they want a hotel, and just if they're searching other stuff like that, you can do Airbnb. I'm not going to try to write this Airbnb, but you get the idea. You can exclude stuff like that, so you know, okay, these people are looking to buy, because most of you don't want renters, I'm guessing. So that's the first part, is only targeting people in the market. Now, the next part of the ad is you're the hook, the body / value, and then the close. So the hook, you want to make sure you're calling out city home buyers. If we're going after Chicago home buyers, you need to call out who this ad is for, because you want everyone else who it's not for to just skip the ad, because we don't want to spend our ad budget on them. And with YouTube ads, if they skip it before the 5 seconds, because that's what these ads are, the in-stream skippable ads, if they skip it before that, you're not charged for it. So you want to make sure you're calling out who this is for, so that only those people are going to stay. Next part is the body / value. So you want to provide a valuable resource for these home buyers. And for this example, for Amy, we're offering an ebook. And that's a really good one. I mean, it works universally. It works with pretty much everything. But the caveat is you need an actual good ebook. I'm not talking about some ChatGPT copy paste ebook. You need to pull out your inner Dr. Seuss and write something valuable. Maybe don't rhyme in it, but make sure there's stuff of value in there. As I spoke about in my last video, a lot of my clients, the ebook is so good. I put so much time into it for all my clients. We get people saying, wow, this ebook's amazing. And they end up calling us back because of how good the ebook was. And that's without us not being pushy. They're literally seeing the value. They're saying, okay, this is really valuable. I want to know more about this, or I want to know how this person can do this for me. So you need to make sure you're providing value. Last part is the close or call to action. So you just need to outline the next steps, click the button, download the guide. And that's a problem a lot of realtors have is they either don't have a call to action, or they're like, call me if you're ever thinking about buying or selling. Right? That's not a next step. That's maybe like who realistically is going to do that. You want to also make sure the call to action is simple and clear, and it's not going to take too much effort from them. So literally click the button, go through the next page, download our guide. Something like that, something simple. Now the next part is the landing page. So there's really three key things, and I have a separate video literally building one of these pages out. I think it's one of my first videos. You can go check that out after. But you want to make sure, one, it's optimized for mobile. That's huge. A lot of times people aren't getting conversions. They're like, oh, I'm getting thousands of clicks, but I'm getting no leads? It's because you look at your landing page on mobile, which is where a lot of people are coming from, and it just is so jumbled. Next part is you need to make sure it's unique and stands out. And this is especially if you're in a more saturated market or more competitive market. And then third, you need to reinforce the value of the ebook. So even though you already sold your lead magnet, whatever it may be, it could be an ebook, maybe not, but you want to make sure you're reinforcing that they're making the right decision. And this is something that's worth them opting in, because they're still giving you something in the form of their name, email, and number. So you need to make sure that what you're giving them outweighs what they're giving you, right? It's literally like a trade and exchange. You need to make sure you're providing them something 10 times more valuable than their information is. And that's when you get really good conversions. And the last part is just the appointment booking. So a lot of them were self-booked appointments using that pre-sell video on the back end. Again, I didn't go into that in this video, but a lot of them are just inbound appointments without Amy having to reach out. And then the last part is just each lead was called within 5 minutes of them coming in, qualified, and then booked on her calendar. And that's really what you need. Again, it's not the pretty part, but you need something like this. Otherwise, you are just leaving so many opportunities on the table. And the best form is obviously calling them, getting on the phone. Text messages don't really work for maybe 1 in 10 people. It does, but a lot of times you need to be calling these people. So that's the exact process right there. Again, the targeting, YouTube ad, landing page, and then the appointment booking. Now, this is inside Amy's pipeline, 44 opportunities during this time. So in about, I don't know how many days it's been. I think it's been 44, 47-ish days. I've had about 44 leads come in, which is awesome. 5 appointments booked. I know there was more in the other columns for appointments showed. I think there was like seven or eight in total, but you can see the pipeline right there. So now here's some of the appointments that I booked, just screenshots. So this was a nice relocation lead from a few days ago. Riley decided to go get pre-approved, so they're going to start looking at homes. That was a couple weeks ago, so they've already looked at multiple homes. This one, you can see how in-depth the conversations are. This guy was telling me his whole life story. This was a solid lead. He's looking to buy and sell. And then another first-time buyer. This was pretty soon after we launched the ads as well. But just you can see the extent to which how much we're qualifying these people, how much intent they have because of all their information we're getting. So those are screenshots from Amy's, but again, she spent $957 on ads and will make about $8,500 in commission from this. And then just to go over a couple other results as well. If you want to see my other videos, Tina got a $3 million cash buyer lead looking to buy in June. And this was a mistake. It's actually $3 million. Tracy showing homes in the first 45 days. John got a buyer and seller in month one. $1.75 million listing in 29 days for Tina. And you can see just a bunch of other appointments and just a bunch of other stats as well and screenshots from the ads. But yeah, that's all I wanted to go over in this video. If you are interested, again, in just having a quick chat with me, seeing how this could potentially work in your market and for you, and just to go over any questions and just go over this more in depth, feel free to book a call with me using the first link in the description below. And yeah, it'll just be 15, 20 minutes. We'll have a quick chat, but it's just for you to see if this is something that would maybe be a good fit for you. And then we can move forward and you could get this exact system in your market, start making some money and closing some deals. Anyways, I appreciate you watching this video. Go check out some of my other ones.